Right. Hey guys, this video is going to go over paid ads training and how you can use paid ads to essentially build out this funnel, which is aimed at solving these three core problems that are the only core problems that are standing in the way of you and the agency growth and the business growth that you want for your agency coaching, consulting, or B2B service business. And these three problems, again, to remind you, are that not enough people know that you exist. They're not continually aware of your existence and the offer that you're providing. Not enough people want your offer or need it in the market, and not enough people trust you to buy from you specifically, even if they are continually aware of you and who you are and what you're offering, and even if they want and need what you're offering. Now, the goal of this video, as I just said, is to go over paid ads and to show you how paid ads fit into this complete funnel that is essentially aimed at solving these three core problems and to consistently and predictably scale your business to the moon. Now, before I dive into paid ads, I'd like to go over how and where paid ads fit into this broader funnel. And the way we're going to do that is by looking at where it's situated in the funnel. So as you can see, paid ads is here near the top, in the top of the funnel. So this is your top of the funnel attention. You're using paid ads to capture attention, and then that attention gets funneled into either a unique transformation or one of your many lead magnets that you should have built out, or to your paid products. So what we're doing is using the paid ads. We are buying attention in the top of funnel and then funneling that attention, channeling that attention to three main points: a paid product, a unique transformation, or one of our many lead magnets. Now, I'd like to just briefly recap the philosophy or the sort of thesis behind having multiple lead magnets and what the lead magnets are there to actually do, and then also go over what differentiates a unique transformation from a lead magnet and why that's important. And then we can dive into the exact mechanics of running paid ads effectively and profitably. Now, you have to keep in mind that your prospect in their current state, in order to get to their dream or desired state, needs to commit to your main offer. But before they can commit to your main offer, there are a bunch of different micro objections that appear in the prospect's mind that you need to tackle to increase their buying temperature and lower their sales resistance enough so that they're actually ready to commit to your main offer and avail the results that your main offer will give them. Now, if these micro objections in the prospect's mind are not resolved and are not taken care of, then they will never be sufficiently ready to commit to your main offer, which is not something we want. We want them to be primed to commit to your offer, because that is what, at the end of the day, drives revenue for your business. Now, if you only have one lead, okay, so let me take a step back. There are these micro objections. What will be the response from your end on solving these micro objections? Well, that's where lead magnets come in. Every single lead magnet has to be a complete solution to a narrow problem, which is these micro objections that appear in the prospect's mind, with the eventual goal of removing all of these objections from the prospect's mind so that they are as ready to buy as possible your main offer. Now, if you only have one lead magnet in your ecosystem, then you will only ever be able to solve one of these micro objections, And it could just be the case that the audience that you're targeting at the moment does not have this specific micro objection that your single lead magnet is built around solving. And in that case, you just completely miss the mark because they have all of these other micro objections that are not being addressed. What you have to keep in mind is that there are different segments in your market that you're addressing. And each of those different segments have different micro objections that need to be handled at any given point in time. So having an entire suite of multiple lead magnets to cycle through in your content campaign and your ads campaigns and so on and so forth allows you to effectively target all of these different segments so that you have a higher and higher chance of addressing this entire spectrum of micro objections that can appear in the average prospect's mind across the different segments of your market, then that allows you to prime more of your market to commit to your main offer. Does this make sense? Each lead magnet provides a complete solution to a narrow problem. And in so doing, you resolve that single micro objection in the prospect's mind and allows you to exhibit trust, competence, expertise, and authority, building a foundation of reliability on which to build future engagements with the prospect, increasing the likelihood that they will actually buy from you because they've known that you can deliver what you promised to deliver. So that's where lead magnets come in. And they're freebies, essentially. They opt in with their name and email and access the lead magnet. Now, what makes a good lead magnet before we dive into unique transformations, because this has to be said, otherwise a shitty lead magnet does not really avail you any results. You might as well not have them at all, because a shitty lead magnet hurts you more than no lead magnet at all. When you're building lead magnets, you want to keep 3 litmus tests in mind that your lead magnets must pass through, with flying colors, I might add. Your lead magnet has to pass the $50 or $75 litmus test, and that would you pay $75 to access the information in that lead magnet. It has to be valuable even though it's free. If your prospect opts into a lead magnet with a name and email, goes through the lead magnet and actually finds that it's not valuable at all, it will leave a far more harmful and bad impression in your mind, in their mind, of you and your image, compared to if you had no lead magnets at all. Second, the second litmus test is your lead magnets need to have flow. What I mean by that is your lead magnets need to be structured, the content, the copy inside the lead magnet needs to be structured in such a way that it actually drags the prospect through from start to finish, from scratch to end. Because the more time your prospect spends, the more attention they spend engaging with your content in the lead magnet, the more real estate you're occupying in their head, and the more chance you get giving yourself to exhibit your own competence, authority, reliability, credibility, and expertise, further increasing the likelihood that they will buy from you in the future. Third, and if they don't go through your lead magnet, they spend less time, so they won't really engage with you or your content or your value, so that you won't get any of those advantages. Third, your lead magnet actually has to have at least five specific actionable steps that they can take the moment they finish going through the lead magnet. So if I'm done going through the lead magnets now, I need to be able to implement those 5 actionable steps starting right now. Your lead magnets need to be centered around giving at least 5 steps of actionable value that they can take. Okay, so now that we've covered lead magnets and the philosophy and the thesis behind them, let me go into unique transformations. What a unique transformation essentially does is condenses all or multiple of these lead magnets into one free product that's centered around actually delivering a transformation. Whereas a lead magnet has information that's relying on passive consumption of that information, albeit with actionable value steps. A unique transformation actually does exactly that. It condenses all of these into one product and actually provides a transformation. Now, how this differs from your main offer is, of course, that by the fact that your unique transformation is incredibly productized, templatized, and incredibly high margin delivery on your end, so that you can actually distribute this at scale. I'll make separate videos on unique transformations later on. That deserves a video on its own, but hopefully this gives you an idea. So for example, if in this example of a cold email lead generation agency type offer, one of your unique transformations could essentially be that you will provide your prospect with 5 different angles, 5 different cold email angles, complete with subsequences that they can test, and that you can say is proven to bring results in the market because you're relying on your past expertise and experience. And then you can also add on top of that, let's say 1,000 leads that are very important for them to reach out to, that they might not be reaching out to, that you've captured using your own custom scraping tools, for example. This allows you to stand out from the thousands and thousands of other people offering similar offers to yours, but essentially with no skin in the game. That allows you to stand out. Now that brings us to paid products. Your paid products also have to follow the 3 criteria of valuable, flow, and actionable steps that your lead magnets also have to follow through, but they have to have even more value. So that gives you a broad idea of what these 3 avenues, these 3 points that we're actually funneling the attention from that we capture from the ads to what these 3 points actually do, what they actually do. Now, as we've covered this, I should also add that your ads, by funneling the attention that you capture into these 3 pots, that allows you to provide value to your prospects. By so doing, your ads form the foundation for a bridge from your top of funnel to your middle and eventually bottom of funnel. Because, as we'll see in a minute, when they opt in to a lead magnet, or when they buy a free product, or when your prospect opts in for a unique transformation, they're giving up their contact information, their email, and immediately they're getting added to your newsletter, where you can gradually and consistently provide them with more and more value. You can funnel them back to your long form process selling video sales letters to nurture them further in your YouTube channel, kind of like the video you're watching right now. And then also the thank you page after they opt in or after they buy will actually will lead them to one of your conversion mechanisms, like a webinar or a workshop or a community that you might have. This then allows you to enrich your data, allows you to follow up with them using appointment setters and reps, further qualifying them down the funnel. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's dive in. These are essentially the only 4 types of paid ad funnels that you need to be worried about, that you need to run. If you have these 4 dialed in, you don't need anything else to scale your revenue. Now, you want to start with a lead magnet funnel because this has the lowest friction on the prospect's end. There's no monetary barrier. It's the easiest for you to set up. It's the easiest for you to circumvent your limiting beliefs in terms of charging top of funnel with actually paid products. So you should start off with a lead magnet funnel. Now, what that does is your prospect sees the ad, the scroll stopper, the ad while they're scrolling their social media platform of choice. They see the ad, they opt in, they get access to the lead magnet. And when they opt in, they give up their email and their name. And you don't want to introduce any unnecessary friction here. So you're only extracting their email information from here, not their revenue, not their employee headcount, not their size, not their website, not their goals, nothing. You want to keep this as low friction as possible because they're opting into a free product. So you don't want to introduce unnecessary friction because then that reduces your click-through rate, your opt-in rate, and that hurts your business. So you want to have extremely low friction, just name and email, or even just email, because you can often extract the name from the email. Just the email. That will give them access to the lead magnet, and then immediately after they hand you over their email, they will get redirected to a thank you page where they will have the option to be redirected to and opt in to a webinar or a workshop or a community, usually a webinar or a workshop, either live or pre-recorded. What this allows you to do is actually enrich the data, because in the previous step, you only collected their email, but that's often not enough to completely qualify your prospect. It allows you to follow up with them more generically as part of your newsletter flows, but having more enriched data like name, contact information, phone numbers, websites, revenue, employee headcount, and so on and so forth allows you to actually employ appointment setters in your bottom and middle of funnel to actually follow up with them and dial them up and qualify them. And the very act of being able to dial them up and actually dialing them up and following up with a call boosts your conversion rates so much in the bottom of funnel. And it's just an incredible way of qualifying your prospects so that you don't waste your time and energy and effort. So here's what this would look like, more like topographically in practice. They will see an ad that leads them to this, once they opt in, to this opt-in page where you will have to have a you should have a feature walkthrough of the exact lead magnet that you're offering, because we don't want any ambiguity. We want complete transparency. We want them to see exactly what they'll get when they opt in for this free product, even though it is a free product. And you want to have uh, reviews of your lead magnet. Now, if you could also substitute this for reviews of your paid product or your main transformation, anything that builds credibility and makes them convinced that they should be opting in and that the information that you're providing inside the lead magnet is actually valuable for them. Name, email, pretty self-explanatory, and then a call to action redirecting them to actually opt in. Once they opt in, you can deliver the lead magnet to their email, which essentially incentivizes them to actually put in a valid email, or you could just redirect them to a separate page where they can access the doc or the Notion course or the lead magnet, wherever you're hosting it on, Gamma Doc or whatever. Then, immediately after they opt in, they'll be redirected to a thank you page, thanking them for opting in. And on that thank you page, you'll have a teaser video for a webinar or a workshop that they can sign up to that will provide them even more long-form, valuable, in-depth information around the problem that they're looking to solve. That also acts as the webinar also allows you to nurture and advertise your main offering, of course, when it's actually run. And the way that they opt into this is by giving you not just their name and email, but also more enriched data points like their phone, so that your appointment setter can actually dial them up and follow up with them, the revenue allowing you to qualify them, the employee headcount, and so on and so forth. Even just having the phone number allows your appointment setter to follow up with them on call and then open a conversation with them either on WhatsApp or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, or text, and then allows them to start a conversation, a human conversation, that within the flow of which you can actually qualify them and extract out further data points like the revenue and headcount and employee size and goals and so on and so forth that you might not necessarily have to include in the opt-in page for the webinar. Then, now you could just stop right here and then redirect them directly to your webinar, or you could go a step further and actually employ a Typeform survey that then allows you to qualify them if you don't want to employ an appointment setter to begin with, though this is not, an appointment setter really has no good substitute. An appointment setter that's effective and trained, a growth specialist essentially, will allow you to make strides that a passive Typeform survey will not allow you to. But what the Typeform survey will allow you to do in the immediate context of the webinar opt-in is you can essentially ask them a bunch of questions in the form of a survey, of course, like what their goals are, the revenue size of their business, their employee headcount, the business model that they're running, the timeline that they want to achieve the goal in, and so on and so forth, and the type of offer that they're running. That then allows you to serve them a pre-recorded video sales letter that is specific to the data that they put in. So it's personalized to them, a video sales letter that's actually guaranteed to, based on the data that they've given you, to be more personalized, more specific to the pain points that they have advertised to you in this survey. So it's more likely to hit closer to home. You funnel them to a long form video sales letter, and then beneath that you also have the sign up confirmation. So not only are you funneling them to the eventual webinar or workshop that's either pre-recorded or live, but you're also funneling them to a video sales letter, a process selling video sales letter, much like this one, that's more data specific, that's more personalized to their unique pain points and journeys and so on and so forth, further increasing your conversion rates down the line, down the funnel. Now, this is for your lead magnet. A very similar thing occurs for your paid product. Now, a very crucial thing to keep in mind when you're running your paid products is the following. Let me zoom in here. With your ads, you want to funnel them to a paid product, and the price point of the paid product should not exceed $100, because that increases. Essentially, once you cross $100 for one single paid product opt-in from an ad, you enter a value of sales resistance that's too high to be solved with top of funnel attention alone. So you want to keep this anywhere between $10 to $97. And then once they actually buy or sign up to buy, you want to upsell them to increase the average order value to more than $100. You can do this with add-on features and so on and so forth. We'll get to that in just a second. But let me just motivate why you want to do this. The reason for this is this upsell can make or break your ad funnel, paid product ad funnel. What this upsell allows you to do is by increasing the average order value to more than $100, anywhere from 110 to 130, is it allows you to run ads essentially at break even, or if you do things very, very well, even profitably, so that you eventually actually have a negative cost per acquisition of this product. So this allows you to run your ads in a more sustainable way, which really, now you might ask, well, why would I even, although this is a no-brainer, why should I even care about increasing the runway over which I can run my ads? And the reason for that is to do with the unique benefits that you get from running ads that you don't really get with all of these other things, although they have their own unique advantages with ads. The unique benefits of ads is that ads essentially allow you to validate your offer at scale very quickly. If people are actually opting in to your lead magnet, to your unique transformations, to your paid products, it's a very, very reliable signal that your offer has some baseline resonance with the market. Another thing is that the signal to noise ratio with ads is very, very high. It's very, very good, so that you can actually rely on the intent data that you get from the ads. Unlike with content, though less so with long form content, unlike with short form top of funnel content, which can have a lot of noise built into the data feedback that you get. So ads is a very, very reliable way to get feedback from the market about your offer, at least about the front end of your offer, which allows you to then iterate and run tight feedback loops. And we're all about tight feedback loops. But another thing that ads allow you to do is scale it's very easy to scale. Unlike with cold outreach, ads allows you to scale almost on autopilot. And again, it also has that built-in effect of high signal to noise ratio and high reliability of feedback indicators, though cold outreach has its own unique benefits, of course. But running your ads in such a way that you actually extend your runway by running it at break even or even profitably, if you do everything very, very well, what that will allow you to do is extend the runway and benefit more and more from the unique benefits that come with running ads. Now, with that said, we covered the lead magnet paid ad funnel. Now for the paid product funnel, it's very similar. You have the opt-in page for the paid product, and you want to have video walkthroughs for your paid product showing them exactly what they will get, A to Z, dots and T's and everything. You want complete transparency, no ambiguity at all. The prospect should have complete transparency as to what they will get the minute they purchase the product. And you want to have reviews, building up social proof. Then the vanilla name and email funnels them to the upsell page, where you want to bring the AOV up to above $100 by adding add-ons that they can upsell to. And then you will want to also have detailed walkthroughs of the upsell features that they'll get, and also the reviews of those upsell features to really solidify the case for the upsell. Then, of course, they get diverted back to they get redirected to the thank you page immediately after they buy. You want to have clear CTAs on every page. And then you essentially run the same shtick all over again, where the thank you page promotes a webinar, workshop, or any other form of conversion mechanism that then allows you to enrich your data and then eventually allows you to employ an appointment setter to follow up with them, qualifying them for the bottom of funnel, and then Typeform surveys to do the same, funnel them back to a data-specific video sales letter to really hit home their pain points and exhibit your competence, reliability, and authority, and confirm sign up. Much like the other steps with the lead magnet. And a very similar thing works with your community funnel as well, and your unique transformation funnel as well. So I'm not going to go through that again. It's essentially the same. Now that we've covered all of these, let me also walk you through, and now that we've also covered what each type of funnel looks like, and before I tell you exactly how it fits into the bottom of funnel and how it reinforces every other piece of the funnel again, I'd just like to point out something very important when running ads. With how good the algorithms have gotten today, with these days, with on the social media platforms, you don't really need to be focusing too much on the targeting aspect of things, or the retargeting aspect of things. That pretty much takes care of itself if if you have a baseline knowledge of what you're doing. What you instead want to focus on is, what you want to keep in mind is that your copy, the ad copy, will create the audience for your ad because of how good the algorithms have gotten, the targeting algorithms have gotten so far. Essentially, the way your copy will be structured will dictate the audience that the ad gets targeted to by the algorithm, because the algorithm has such high performance now. Now, what this means is that if you have a copy that's highly technical and you want to appeal to serious founders who are actually looking to scale, then having a technical copy allows you to do that. It's a self-selecting process. Whereas if your copy is very wishy-washy, very low level, then the type of audience that you will attract is very low level, and then you're very likely to get very high CPAs and costs per, and well, very low, very high click-through rates. But even if it's very high, if the copy is for a wishy-washy audience, but you want a more qualified audience, then, well, most of your click-throughs are going to be unqualified, which just adds more trouble for you that we don't want, of course. So let me just go briefly through what the end process of this ad looks like. These paid ad funnels. So they opt in either to unique transformation or a lead magnet, or to a paid product, or to a community. You can also run a community funnel. But once they opt in, you can then follow up with them with a growth specialist, especially if they opt in for something more high engagement, like a unique transformation or a community funnel, where they actually have to give up more of their information. So you already get the enriched data, and you don't have to redirect them to a thank you page in order to get it, although you can do that as well. So when they're signing up for the community funnel, you can afford to ask them more pointed questions about, you can actually afford to ask them to give up their email and revenue and phone number as well, or just the name, email, and phone, because they're actually opting in for a free product that's more high in engagement, like a paid community or a unique transformation. What that allows you to do then is, as we said with the webinar side of things, essentially do the same thing but one step ahead, one step advanced. It allows you to follow up with them using your growth specialist, and then they can start a conversation with them, engage a conversation with them that's very human, has natural flow. And the idea is to educate them, funnel them to your long form content, nurture them and educate them, not sell them directly. Qualify them first and then sell them on a call with pre-call nurture flows built in. Now, I want to cover the newsletter side of things, because essentially the attention that you capture from these ads, be they to paid ads, paid products, or to unique transformations or lead magnets, eventually they funnel back to the newsletter because you have their email, so you can bombard them with newsletter flows that are actually valuable and actually reiterate your thesis every step of the way. So for instance, my thesis is that the only core things that are standing in the way of you and your revenue goals and your growth goals of your business are these three things: not enough people knowing that you exist and they're not continually aware of you, not enough people wanting or needing what you're offering to the market, and not enough people trusting you to buy from you specifically, even if they are continually aware of you, and even if they want and need what you're offering. So as long as you can solve these three problems, there is nothing stopping you from growing your business to the moon. That is my thesis, and that is a true thesis, because that is the fact. It's non-negotiable, and this plagues every single business of every single size. It's regardless of your margin size revenue. So if you opt into any of my lead magnets or your paid products, as I'm pretty sure you will in the future, you will see that the same thesis will be reiterated in every single page of each type of funnel. And not only that, as soon as you opt in, there is never going to be a moment in time where you will give me more of your attention than when you are engaging with a product, be it a paid product or a unique transformation or a lead magnet. The exact moments after you've bought from me, either with money or attention, are the exact moments where you will have the highest receptivity to things, to my messaging, which is why you want to leverage this to essentially drive home that point even more. Reiterate your thesis every step of the way by immediately following up with this heightened state of attention that your prospect will have after they opt into one of your paid product funnels or your lead magnets or your unique transformations. You want to essentially follow up with them immediately with 3 to 5 immediate follow-ups in the welcome as part of the welcome sequence of your newsletter, reiterating your thesis, setting the ground for what you are offering down the line, your main offer, because you'll be surprised with the unbelievable percentage of people who actually opt in to your lead magnets and your paid products and your unique transformations that don't actually have an articulated idea of what you're offering ultimately. So you want to give them that clarity and you want to drive home your main thesis that you believe in and that your entire offering is built on top of, so that they're educated up to the right page. And then of course you can continually funnel them to long form content on your YouTube page, process selling VSLs, nurture them, show your authority and credibility and expertise, show them that you know what you're talking about, funnel them to a community, to webinars and workshops as already covered. And that then allows you to enrich your data and follow up with them using appointment setters that can dial up to them, engage a conversation with them, a human conversation with them, during the flow of which they can funnel them again to your long form content to nurture them further and further, to educate them before you even pitch to them. And then once they are qualified based on their engagement and the information that they give your appointment setter or your growth specialist, you can then book them to sell on a call. Right. I hope this was valuable to you. This was a high-level overview of how you want to structure and run your paid ads. And I've covered how to do that and where exactly the paid ads fit into the entire complete funnel, which is the only funnel you will ever need to solve the only 3 core problems that are standing in the way of you and the growth that you want for your business, and why you want to run ads and the unique benefits of those ads, as well as what makes the good lead magnets, unique transformations, and paid products to actually deliver value on the attention that you capture using ads in the top of funnel. Now, with that said, I appreciate you giving me your time and attention. If you want to solve these 3 core problems that are the only 3 core problems standing in the way of you and the growth of your agency, coaching, consulting, or B2B service business, which is that not enough people know you exist, not enough people are continually aware of your existence and your offering, not enough people want or need what you're offering, and even if they want or need what you're offering, and even if they are aware of your existence, they don't trust you enough to buy from you specifically. If you want to solve these 3 core problems, you want to build out this complete funnel, because this is the complete antidote to these 3 core problems, allowing you to slash the heads of this hideous beast, Cerberus, where each head represents the 3 core problems standing in the way of you and your business growth. If you want me to build out this entire funnel for you with a complete one-on-one implementation where you get large chunks of this entire structure deployed into your business as early as 24 to 48 hours with an onboarding, and then we continually refine the process and your offer. We reposition and refine your offer to be decommoditized so that you're not competing with 1,000 lookalikes every single day. And I'll build out my team and I will build out this entire funnel for you from scratch and then deploy this entire client acquisition system into your business in a completely results-based guaranteed process. Then you can book a call with me. The link for that will be in the description. You can also reach out to me for more information on my Twitter, where I'm most active and most easy to reach out to. That'll also be linked in the description. I appreciate you watching this video and giving me your time and attention, and hope to see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao.